How to collect a urine sample from a female dog. Your vet may request a urine sample for a variety of reasons. Urine analysis is an easy, non-invasive way of checking for urinary infections, as well as detecting problems such as diabetes mellitus or kidney disease. A urine sample can also help to check for urinary crystals which could irritate the bladder lining. Collecting urine from a female dog is a bit trickier than from a male dog, but with a little forward planning it can be done smoothly and efficiently. Method 1. Preparing the container. 1. Choose your container. The ideal container is wide, flat and shallow, such as a baking tray, takeaway food container, or foil pie dish. It needs to be shallow enough to slide under a small dog, and yet wide enough to catch the urine if your aim is a bit off target. 2. Understand why sterilizing the container is important. If the vet wants to check the urine for the presence of infection, he or she may want to culture the sample. For the results to be accurate, the urine needs to be collected in a clean container and transferred to a clean jar or bottle to transport to the vet. This is done to avoid contamination from environmental bacteria, as the lab tests will highlight any bacteria present, including bacteria from the environment. Using a sterile jar allows precise identification of the bugs present and an accurate selection of the antibiotic to which the bacteria are most sensitive. There are 3 ways to sterilize a container at home, all of which will be detailed in the following steps. 3. Use a commercial sterilizing liquid meant to sterilize babies' bottles and teats. There are many brands readily available from chemists or supermarkets. Simply follow the directions on the packaging, which usually involve diluting the sterilizing liquid with a set volume of water, immersing the object into the diluted fluid for a set period of time. 4. Use a steam sterilizer to prepare the container. If you have access to a steam sterilizer, of the sort used for babies' bottles, use it to sterilize foil containers. You can also use it to sterilize plastic containers that withstand high temperatures. Again, follow the manufacturer's instructions, which usually involve adding a set amount of water to the sterilizers and setting it running on a steam cycle. 5. Clean the container with boiling water. If you do not want to purchase sterilizing fluid, or do not have access to a steam sterilizer, you can use boiling water to sterilize the container. Bring a pot of water to a boil. Place the container in the boiling water. Make sure that the container you use can withstand high temperatures. Let the container sit in the boiling water for several minutes. Use extreme caution when removing the container from the water, as it will burn you. Place it on a clean surface to cool. 6. Clean and dry a container if it does not need to be sterilized. If the vet does not want to send the sample for culture, then it is sufficient for the container to be clean and dry, rather than fully sterile. It is vital the container is not contaminated with food, or a sugary residue, since this could give false results on a dipstick test. To clean the containers, wash them in hot, soapy water, rinse well under running water and then towel or air dry. 7. Use a leak-proof bottle to transport the urine. Once you have caught the urine in your flat container, you will have to transfer it to a sterile bottle so that you can bring it to the vet without spilling it everywhere. Your vet may supply you with a container for this purpose, but there are also several household items you can use. A glass jar, such as a jam or coffee jar, with a screw top, will do just fine. Give it a thorough wash with detergent to get rid of any sugary residue. Again, where possible, sterilize the container either with a chemical sterilizing agent, or if the material will take it, with a kettle full of boiling water. This last step is only essential if the sample is being sent for culture. Method 2. Collecting the urine sample. 1. Plan ahead to collect your dog's urine. Many owners find their dog becomes suspicious when you trail behind to collect the sample. The dog will then either hold on and not urinate, or else run off, leaving behind. To minimize the chances of this, try collecting the sample when your dog has a full bladder, such as first thing in the morning. This way she will be so keen to relieve herself that she won't take as much notice of what you are doing. Other times to try collecting urine are immediately after she has had a meal, or on your normal walk when there are interesting smells to sniff and tempt your dog to scent mark as a distraction. Another option is to enlist the help of a second person. Keep the dog on a lead held by the accomplice who walks ahead with the dog and distracts her. If you loiter a little way behind, when the dog squats down to urinate, approach quietly and slide the collecting container underneath her rear end to catch the sample. 2. Wait until the dog has a full bladder and put her on a collar and lead. Put on a pair of rubber gloves if you have them. Take your collecting container in your hand, and the secure bottle in your pocket, and go outside. Let the dog sniff around at the end of the lead. Most dogs have a sniff around to find a choice spot in which to void their bladder. She will sniff first and then shuffle around and prepare to squat. 3. Approach quietly from behind as your dog squats. Don't make sudden movements or you may alarm her and she'll stop. As she urinates, slide the container under her back end such that you catch some of the stream of urine. 4. Collect as much urine as you can. Around 25 milliliters of urine is ideal, so you don't need to fill the container entirely. Once you have a sufficient sample, place the container on a flat surface where it won't get knocked over and return the dog to the house. 5. Pour the urine from the container into the screw-top jar. This takes a steady hand, but if you do it outside over grass, spillage doesn't matter. When the jar is full, or you think you have gathered 25 milliliters, securely fasten the lid. Remove your gloves and throw them away along with the collection container. 6. Take the sample into the vet's office right away. When it comes to analysis, the fresher the sample, the better. Where possible, collect the urine at a time when you can get the sample straight to the vet's office for analysis. Try to take the sample to your vet within the hour. Put the specimen jar into a waterproof bag labeled with your pet's name, and take it to the vet without delay.